Alright, hello. This is Mr. Job. I'll do a little track breakdown of Big Daddy since I haven't uploaded in this YouTube channel in a long time. Production related stuff anyway. There's going to be a lot of cuts in this, like my mic's going to cut out a lot in this because I have a dirty cough right now, so I'm going to try and mute for a cough if I do. Right, anyway, let's jump into this. This track is quite basic, as are a lot of my songs. So let's start with the intro, nice and easy. And we've got some chords here. Got it's on 28, so we've got like a little doo-doo. Super easy, simple stuff. It's just a serum, square, detuned, envelope, and reverb and flanger, which just detunes it more, makes it a bit wider, gives it a bit of movement modulation on the and this is just the bass, I think, controlling volume. Nice and simple. We've got a bass. Pretty much the same patch. It's got some reverb there, but it's just a lower octave and there's sustain on the envelope. Got a bit of EQ, wave, and distortion. All pretty simple, and then we got some choir going on there as well. And yeah, this choir is like the FL default instrument, which probably isn't the best, but I don't really have any of those fancy plugins like Contact or anything like that, so I had to make do. Alright, so the rest of the intro is just like some effects loops. And also this, which has no volume, so it's probably up. There you go. Just a bit of like ambience, or I don't know what you call this, some background stuff. Nothing special, just a bunch of random effects. And then obviously the vocal solo, which I think is from Big Chance and Vocals.
Big Dad. Ay, papi.
Yeah, just a load of garbage, but you know, sometimes you find one that's funny and it works. And we got, what's this? Right, that's part of the drum fill. Yeah, this intro is pretty simple stuff. I mean, it's just a couple nice sounds, transition into the drop. Right, so we'll go. Oh yeah, one thing about this drop, there is some other sounds that are missing, but they're like a lot of the reverse kind of sounds I made when resampling the main synth, and when I upgraded my PC, I lost a lot of files, and luckily I had a backup of all my kind of drum files and stuff and projects, but these files were normally inside your FL program files, so I lost a lot of these ones, unfortunately. Right, let's do the drums first, and then we'll get into stuff everyone wants to see, the synth. So drums, nice and basic as well. It's just nice little clap, which this one doesn't have any effects in it at all, and this one just has a convolver, cam crusher, transit shaping, just to bring the transient out of the clap a bit more, make it a bit snappier. Just yeah, probably a pretty criminal EQ to be honest, but That's what it is. And then just, I think this was quite stereo. This just makes it a bit more mono. And then what's this? Some EQ. So yeah, kind of pretty ear piercing, but I think it fits pretty nicely in the song. When it goes into the clipper on my master here, which is literally just, I mean, people have seen this all the time, just a soft clip on the master. It does tone it down, so it's not like super ear piercing. When it clips with the whole track, it kind of meshes it. I don't know. I'm not using the right terminology, but it that criminal EQ where I'm just like pushing peaks doesn't. You don't end up getting it being this harsh as if. Never mind. I'm explaining this really badly, but hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. This convolver was. This is a preset that Achios sent me once, and it's like. So I'm not going to show it, but it's basically makes the clap from, because the original sample is probably a bit different, so it kind of almost like flattens it with reverb. It like deletes the transient, so usually when I use it, I like to just add a bit more of the transient in again. Right, so for the kick, it's just a kick that I made a while ago, not through synthesis. I usually make kicks through layering and post-processing, and I typically will export them and use them again. So like here, for example, I've transient shaped it, and that's it. But yeah, this it's literally just a nice fat kick. This is most likely a hip hop kick that's been squashed with a compressor, and then normally I transient shape just to get like excuse me, I get a little bit of a click at the start, and then this one is quite fat, whereas in the song it's a bit more poppy, so it's probably, I think the transient shape over, oops, yeah, so the sustain has been turned down, so yeah, this is a very good, this transient shape, I'm pretty sure it's free, and it gives you a good visualization of what it's doing to the sound too, so I recommend this one. And then we've got some hats here, so yep. So I like to layer lots of cymbals, because I just like, I think some people put a lot more things like white noise and other elements in their tracks, which I don't really tend to use. So they don't usually need as much cymbals as me, in my opinion. But because I don't use this, the white noise technique or anything, I need a bit more high, the kind of frequency that's like, yeah, really like this super high. A lot of my tracks will lack that kind of range because, yeah, like I said, I don't really use white noise. Distortion I do use a lot, but not as much as I'd say some other people. So I do miss out that frequency range a bit, and having a big stack of cymbals for sure helps with that. And then, yeah, I just don't know. I like stacking lots of cymbals. These are quite on beat on this track as well, which is quite unusual for me. Usually I like to have it slightly off, but I think it also depends track for track. So yeah, the drum is also pretty basic in this track. It's I think that's one of my favourite things about this song, is it really is a simple track. Like there's really not much going on. It's just a cool little ding ding, like basic flow. I mean, the sound design in the synth is not super crazy either. It's just like a little basic vowel kind of. I mean, even here, vowel 4. It's the project name. It's just a basic little vowel kind of rhythm track. 150 as well. I don't normally do 150 tracks, so this was just something just having fun with it, and it turned out to be one of the best tracks I ever made. So this muted anyway, vocal there, and we got this thing I used in the intro in the background as well. So right, let's get to the nitty gritty that everyone would like to see. It's the synth. You can see it's literally all the same note, which I do a lot more than I would like to admit. So we'll go with right. So here we go. So first, I actually kind of want to show you what it sounds like without any effects at all, because I think it will kind of show you how I usually operate in when it comes to making synths and stuff. I like to have really big effects chains. I like to kind of start with pretty basic sound in like Serum or Massive, usually my favorites to use, and then I like to kind of just keep adding effect after effect after effect after effect, which I know is probably not, FL is probably not the best place to be doing that. But you know, what can I say? I like FL, so right, here we go. So yeah, it's really like simple stuff. It's this patch is just like a distorted kind of sine-ish, not really a sine, but so this is not even what I thought it was. It's just it's been a while since I made this, so I couldn't quite remember. Is this even the one? Yeah, literally just, I don't know what this shape even is. Base tables from wherever. I can't remember where that's actually from. I used to have a bunch of these wavetables. I don't remember where I got them from. I normally use like these ones, galbanum, and then I normally will use like the massive ones too. And I used to use these ones called base tables, but I don't remember where I got them from. So for now, they're gone. They're chalked. Right. So yeah, this synth, nice and easy. And then the other pattern we have is, and all this is, I'm pretty sure it's an FM bass. No, this one is literally just wavetable with a high pass and PN. I can't remember what kind of filter that is, but really easy sound. And then this one, same again. I thought this was actually all made in FM from B, but it seems like it was at first, and I gave up on that because this is all just literally, yeah, just high pass. Now, I think this is a notch. I can't remember what that filter is. And then as you can see, look here, I tried to use white noise, but I ended up not doing it. I could never really get it to sound good, so. And my sub is just a square wave. And oh yeah, I'm actually using some noise here too. Interesting. Interesting that I went on a big debacle about not using noise. You know, I have. They're saying that I don't think the sub's playing. But then, yeah, I've cut out all this frequency anyway, so I don't actually know if the white noise is even audible in this track. So, right. So that's pretty much the whole track, right? And then there it just switches sides. So what I'll do is I'll go through the effects, because that's kind of the source, I guess. So this sound. So yeah, obviously the codecs. Pretty simple. I mean, yeah, I always draw in this thing. Biggest things I normally change with the codecs is like this order, the band's distribution, and then I normally will draw in this part here a lot. This knob's also pretty good to mess with. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of different buttons, but those are kind of the main ones that really make a big difference, in my opinion. But as you can see, it still sounds kind of still not really the best kind of sound. So got some OTT compression, EQ, distortion, EQ, some imaging just to make it wide up. This is some reverb, very small one, with a very short decay. So I think this is, you can hear it's kind of like a metallic kind of sound. And then we've got some more compression. So this is quite a good combo, is if you do like a reverb like this and then compress the fuck out of it. Get some really cool sounds from there. And then we're just, it literally is the same as before, right? Just we just got more compression, more EQ, just lots of, I like to do lots of little touches like this, right? Instead of doing one big EQ with lots of different points and stuff, I like to just do, even this is quite complex for me usually. I don't normally do this many adjustments in one EQ. I like to kind of do like this, right? Which I know is probably terrible in terms of like the CPU, but I like to work like that, because then I can kind of click it on and off just to hear like the minimal difference. Because sometimes I get a bit carried away with EQs, right? And I EQ too much, take out some of the nice stuff. And it's just, I like to kind of just go back and click through them, turn them all on and off to hear the difference. And then again, literally the same thing, more imaging. This one's just turning down the stereo a little bit, and then just more little EQs. This one's doing absolutely nothing. And then we finally got some pitch change here. This is just literally an automation on the pitch bends, and some changes on the macro, which is probably like the wavetable, I guess. Yeah, the wavetable position moving slightly. Yeah, this track is super like basic, man. There's really not much going on, but that's kind of the beauty of it. I've got my sidechain there too, which I did manually. And what's this? And this is just delay. So sound, I've been doing this for a while. Now. It's something I heard someone do called Invaders, or it goes by Rapture 4D now. I think there was multiple people in that alias. People who've been around for a long time probably know. But he used to use this effect in his tracks all the time, and I was always wondering, how the fuck do you even make that? And one time when I was messing around with delay, I think I was trying to put tonal delay on something, and as I was wiggling with the delay time, I heard that effect that I always wondered how to make, and ever since then I've just been rinsing it. So yeah, I don't know about other delays, but delay free interval, when you mess with the time as the delay's happening, it makes some really cool sounds. So I recommend giving it a go. You can make some really cool stuff. It's really good for like entry sounds, really good for like end of bars. It's really good for fake outs as well. One of the best fake outs I ever made was with my collab Amoons on Dimension Suck. fake out I made with a M frequency. Excuse me, with an M frequency shifter, has a feedback option which kind of gives like a delay, and the feedback time or something, I can't remember exactly, but I automated that, which is kind of doing the same thing as automating this, and that's how I made the fake out in Dementia Suck. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything to show. It's interesting in this track. Don't know what this is. Yeah, nothing. Just a little reverse. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. There's this, like I said, this track is super basic, and yeah, I'm trying to just quickly scout if there's anything else, but I'm pretty sure that's the meat and bones of it, really. Yeah, man. I think this, even this track's kind of old now, it's still, I think, a really cool example of like, you don't need to have tons of knowledge and tons of crazy sound design to make like a cool track that sounds different, right? It's pretty easy. I mean, this track has like a vocodec, compression, and EQ on a serum patch, which doesn't even have any warp on it, right? It's literally just a wavetable with volume and a high pass filter. Oh, sorry, and this filter as well. But this synth, this synthesis that I'm doing in this serum here is like, these are techniques people were doing like 12 years ago on Massive. Like, this is not revolutionary in the slightest. So it's sometimes it is good to not overcomplicate things. And yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. Hopefully inspire some people to make some cool stuff. We are in I wouldn't say a stale time, but there is the rise of Square 4. It's kind of taken over. There is a lot of boring stuff. So now that Serum 2 is out as well, I urge you, if you use Square 4 all the time, try Serum. Try and make some stuff that isn't using Square 4, because you can really get some like really unique tones now. I feel like when I was making like this song, I didn't feel like this was super unique, but I feel like now that so many people are using Square 4, you can really like make unique sounding stuff, because so many people are just using Square 4. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. I'm going to end the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see ya. Bye.